Hey guys, this is the second video for Imagine by John Lennon, and we're going to play the pre-chorus here. Now the first time the pre-chorus comes up is about 37 seconds into the song, and it goes into the pre-chorus but doesn't go into the chorus there. You have to go through the verse one more time, and then you go through the pre-chorus again, and then the chorus comes in for the first time. So what we're going to do is actually just learn the pre-chorus by itself, because you need to memorize that by itself, because you're going to play it as one piece and then go back into the verse. So again, it's 37 seconds into the song, and it's this little section right here. Okay, and right there it goes back into the verse. So we don't go into the chorus yet. So I want to go ahead and teach you the chords that we're going to be using. Now, going into the pre-chorus, we're actually, staying on the F chord a little longer. See, normally we were, during the verse, as you know, if you watched the first video, we were going C to F a whole lot. Well, we end on the F as usual, but we stay on it a little longer into the pre-chorus, okay? So you're going to stay on that F, and so after you go, as you're used to doing by now, if you've learned this part, you're going to go, you know, you've been doing that over and over again. Well, you just go right back into the F, so you go, or let me see, your three notes that normally lead into the C, but after you play them, you just hold the F back down. Okay? So it's going to be F, and I'm going to give you the chord progression here and then show you how to play it. So you play the F for a second, then it's going to be A minor with an E pedal. What that is it's a normal A minor chord, but you've got this low E, this thick E string on the bottom of it. Okay? And it's kind of weird, I know, but that's the way it's played. So we're going to do the same thing. So what it is how you play an A minor with an E pedal is it's open on the skinny E string, first fret on the B string, second fret on the G, second fret on the D, and I'm not going to play this A string, I'm just going to play the E right there. Okay? Our next chord is a D minor. It's just a normal D minor, so if you've played that before, you know what it's about. But it's first fret on the skinny E string, third fret on the B string. I like to use my pinky, and then I use my middle finger to play the second fret on the G string, and then open on the D string. So there's our D minor chord. Our next chord is a G. Okay, and the G chord, just the normal average G chord, is going to be third fret on the thick E string, first fret on the A string, and then open on the D, G, and B strings, and then third fret on the skinny E string. Okay? And then we're going to switch to a G7. At the very end, we're just going to pluck it one time and let it ring. And what that is the same two E and A string notes, except we're going to switch to our third finger on the thick E string. And you can go ahead and use this formation if you want to switch to the G7 chord easier, if it's going to give you trouble, because you can do this as your G chord and then switch to the G7 and use your pinky and first finger to change the chord. But it's third fret on the thick E string, second fret on the A string, then open, 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 and first fret on the skinny E string. Okay, there's other ways to play it, but that's the way we're going to play it here. And then that's the pre-chorus. So it's, again, it's F, A minor with an E pedal. An E pedal just means you have an E on the bottom. D minor, G, and G7. Okay, now the way we're going to play this is you're going to go into your F, and I'm going to play along with it for a second. So here it goes. Okay, it's just like that. I'm basically, when I get a chord, I'm going to grab 4 strings and pluck them all. And then I'm going to pick one of whatever string, you could be the D string, the G string, it depends on how you want it to sound. But I'm going to pluck that with my first finger. Okay, so it's going to be, and then I'm going to take my ring finger and my middle finger and pluck 2 higher ones. Okay, so, and then first finger, those 2, until it's time to go to the next chord. So for the F, it's going to be, I'm going to remind myself. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be just 2, so you're going to go, imagine all, you go to the A minor right there, so, imagine all the people living for today. And then you're going into the C after that. So, just like that, you're going to do that plucking pattern twice on the F. Then you're going to the A minor with an E pedal, and you're going to do that plucking pattern twice. And make sure your thumb is on that E string. We need to hear that come out. Okay. And now when we switch to the D minor, we have 4 of those plucking patterns. And I like to grab these 4 skinniest strings because none of the other 2 strings don't belong in the chord. So grab these 4 skinniest ones and do that plucking pattern, all of them. Then first finger, then these 2. So you're going to do it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you switch to the G chord. Pick whichever ones you want. Every string will work. So I'm going to grab the skinniest 3 and then the lowest bass note. So a 4 on this one too. And then when we switch to the G7, I just pluck the skinniest 3 strings and the thickest bass note once and let it ring. And you do it that way every time, even when the chorus comes right after. So if you want to see my right hand a little better, I'm going to try to angle it a little bit to where you can see. I'm going to go like this, starting at the beginning of the pre-chorus. Imagine all the people living for today. And you go back into the verse. So that's how the pre-chorus is played. Hopefully that's not too confusing. And remember, you're going to do it exactly that way every time, even when the chorus follows. Now the next video, what we'll cover is I'll go back over the pre-chorus and then continue all the way through the chorus, and that ought to be it. Just a quick note though, the last video in this video series, I have recorded myself playing from the very beginning of the song all the way through the end. So that way you can see how all your chords line up and where each part goes, and you can watch my hands and follow along. And that might be helpful for you. So that's the last video in the series. So play that one. There's no explanation in it. It's just me playing through the song. So if you want to follow along and practice with that, you can. So